Hello and welcome to another action figure review. Today I will be unboxing the Walmart exclusive John Cena Elite 3-pack. And I know this came out a while ago, but I wasn't really sure if I was actually going to pick up this thing, considering when it first came out for retail it was going for $75. And I'm just not that big of a John Cena fan to have justified spending all that money. But with a little bit of patience and a lot of time passed, I was able to actually find this on clearance for $30, which is an absolute steal if you ask me, considering that an Elite goes for like $25 a pop now, which is still insane to me. But yeah, so I ended up, pulled the trigger, decided it was time, and now we have the John Cena 3-pack. If we take a look, of course, this does come with three different, eras of John Cena. First, we have Ruthless Aggression. This would be a super early Ruthless Aggression when he had his prototype gimmick. Then to around like 2004-ish, the Doctor of Thugonomics version of John Cena. To then, I think maybe 2016, 2017-ish years of John Cena on the right. It's pretty cool packaging, honestly, all around. Up top, we've got hustle, loyalty, and respect written. And of course on the back, we got some pretty cool images, kind of showcasing all the different eras featured in the package. And of course, it also has a bio written there. Here's a look at one side of the package. Starting off with the accessories, we see that the prototype does come with this jersey type-ish shirt and the shorts with some got some good stretch to them, which is good for taking on and off of the figure. I don't think that as a prototype he actually wore this. I think this is kind of like fading two different versions of Cena together, but correct me if I'm wrong there. It does come with two punching hands, this hat, and a scratch logo microphone. Then for the Doctor of Thugonomics, it does come with this cool camo shirt. See, it says "You Can't See Me" on there. And there's no Velcro on this shirt, which worried me at first because I've never had a figure that came with the cloth goods that didn't have a Velcro on it. But it actually is like pretty stretchy material, which makes it really easy to take on and off. We also have this chain, another hat, and of course the US title spinner belt, which is a little small, but otherwise I think it's pretty cool. I'd never actually had any figure belts that could spin, so this is my first one. I'm pretty excited about that. It comes with the Word Life knucks. I guess they're brass knucks. Not sure what to call them. And two hands that can do his sort of Word Life hand sign. Onto the 2017 John Cena. It comes with this very cool blue shirt, set up just like the 2004 one. It's just stretchy material, no Velcro. See how he's got all his logos on there. Of course, it's got to come with the hat, another chain, a not current day but more modern US title from the 2010s, and two extra hands. Here's a look at the prototype John Cena. I'm pretty happy with the hair that they chose here. The face does look a little, I don't know, large to me maybe. It doesn't really portray the young John Cena that you would have gotten like 2002, which this is kind of based off of. But it's still, is decent. Arm-wise, the pretty much standard articulation. I do like the size that they chose. I think it does show off his size that he had at the time. This torso, I don't know that I've ever actually seen this torso before these figures. All three of the figures in the pack, I believe, had the same torso. There might be slight differences. But I do like it. It does show off his bulkiness. So I appreciate that. Of course, we got the yellow and black trunks. And yeah, not too much more. It was pretty plain attire, so there's not too much detail that they have to really add here. It's kind of medium ab crunch, really, but you kind of get that when the torsos are larger. Semi-decent kind of leg range there, but with the John Cena figure, you don't really need much. We have like the swiveling ankles, I appreciate the small knee pads here. Slight resistance on the knee joints, but this has been in a box for a while, so I can kind of understand that. But yeah, honestly, like altogether, it's pretty decent. I would say maybe if they could have had like a younger looking face, but otherwise, this is a pretty solid prototype figure. Then we got the Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena. I think this face is a little closer to capturing the likeness of, of the time frame, so 2004 John Cena, at least compared to what the prototype looked like. It does come with the same torso as the rest of the figures. Arms are, I believe, the same, move the same. We do have like painted on sweatbands, like wristbands and armbands, which is kind of unfortunate because it is always cooler when they have like the 3D, like additional pieces to make up those, but it's all right. We do see he has like the Ward Life, like I guess probably underwear, shorts, I don't know, creeping out from underneath his jorts. Decent torso movement here. These knees do not want to move at all. I feel like that happens quite a bit with, wow, this one has no give. I feel like that happens quite a bit with like when they have like the longer jeans or pants or whatever. It does seem like the knees really have some resistance, but hopefully a little bit of hot water will fix that. Onto the shoes. Really good rotation here for the ankles, and I really like the design of the shoes as well. This is pretty cool. Yeah, mostly, like, honestly, pretty decent figure. Some joint issues, but not the worst thing in the world. There's workarounds for that. And would have liked to maybe have like the wristbands and armbands not just be painted on, but hey, it's a 3-pack of elites. There's a lot of detail that they have to add in there. They only have so much money they can put into the packaging, so I understand it. Then we got the 2017 John Cena. I think this head sculpt is probably the closest to his likeness at the time that it's based off of, at least out of these 3-pack, at least compared to the other two in the package. Same torso, same arms. This does come with removable armbands and wristbands, which is really nice. That's what I would have liked to see on the 2004 version. We have the darker jeans here. His knees can actually move, which is great. And we have this cool neon green and black shoes. It does not have like the ankle rotation that the other figure has, but it does have the shin swivel. Yeah, all in all, pretty simple but effective. This is, what you'd picture when you want to picture a John Cena figure, probably. Nothing really bad to say about it necessarily. So here's all 3 figures. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this pack. I'm glad that I waited patiently for the price to go down, and ended up eventually buying this because I was debating it over time. It was just price-wise, it was not justifying it for me. Like I said before, I was never really a John Cena guy, which is odd because I was definitely at the right age to be into him during his like Super Cena time. I guess that's what happens when you watch TNA in 2008 as well. But I never actually had a John Cena Elite. These are actually my first, and it's kind of cool to see. It's kind of cool to have a few different versions all at once instead of having to choose, which one do I want. I think I'm partial to the aesthetic of the Doctor of Thugonomics figure, but the 2017 version I think is probably the closest to the likeness of what it's based off of. But either like altogether, this 3-pack is actually pretty sick. If you're debating it and you can find it on clearance especially, I would definitely recommend picking this up. Otherwise, that's going to do it for today's unboxing. Be sure to like, comment which of these 3 was your favorite, and be sure to subscribe if you want more wrestling figure content.